Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your this is your humble host, Hunter. I'm so happy I'm talking about what I'm about to be talking about. So I am talking about the second official trailer for Fast and Furious 9, which, my God, okay. So it's actually funny. I have the original the Fast and the Furious paused right now on my TV because I'm going to watch that with dinner tonight because I'm prepping for all of you to review every single Fast and Furious film leading up to Furious, the Furious 7, because that was the first Fast and Furious film that we reviewed for the channel. So we did Furious 7, Furious 7, Furious 8, and then Hobbs and Shaw. You can check out those reviews on our channel. But I was sitting here thinking about it. Wow, I don't remember the earlier ones that well. It feels like the franchise, I mean, it definitely got a shot in the arm with Dwayne Johnson joining in Fast 5. But I was sitting here going, I don't really remember the earlier ones. So I'm going to start a rewatch on all of them. And so that will be coming down the pipeline. But what I will tell all of you is that watching this new trailer for Fast and Furious 9, there are some things I definitely picked out. And my God, I'm excited for this because if you've been listening to the podcast or listening to really anyone's podcast that does film reviews, it's been really hard to go to the theater. Some places are more locked down than others and all that jazz. Myself, I haven't been to a theater in over a year. I believe the last review that I did for a film that I saw in theaters was, I believe, Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's been about 14 months-ish. So I was going to go see Mortal Kombat in theaters. I'll probably wait for that. To be honest, this might be the first film I go see in an actual theater as far as a new release. So if that's the case, I will definitely bring that up in the review. But I'm excited for this because I believe this film is going to be what Tenet wanted, what Christopher Nolan wanted Tenet to be. Now, granted, just from the trailer, I'll be honest, I already like this way more than Tenet. Also, the black people in this movie have names, so that's already an improvement. But I just want to go and break down a couple things that I personally saw in the trailer. So, watching this, I do appreciate, because I think Fate of the Furious, the house got blown up, or Dom and Letty's house got blown up. Can't really remember because, again, it's been a minute. That's why I'm rewatching these. But I appreciate that they're at least staying somewhat within their own continuity, which I will get to in a second. Also, the fact that the movie, the trailer flat out goes, hey, we're finally going to space, because if you pause at the 4-second mark, Brian, their kid, is playing with a car, and then I believe it's Letty. It is Letty, is playing with a spaceship. It's clear foreshadowing. So all these people they're going to space, really? Pay attention. Just take half a second and look. The other thing I really like, that I really appreciate early on, is that while I think Tokyo Drift sucks because it's not good, but I at least from what I remember, we'll review it. But there's crew from the Tokyo Drift films. Sean, who's played by Lucas Black, and then Twinkie, who's played by Bow Wow. God, what a dumb name. Bow Wow, not Twinkie. And then Earl, who's played by Jason Tobin. They're in there, which I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. A little sad that Natalie Kelly's Nella isn't back, but I guess we can't get everything we want. Brian still being out of the picture. The trailer addressing that early on, showing him, being super dad. So I appreciate that they're keeping that thread, just to kind of remind people, like, hey, while we've lost Paul Walker. He's still alive in our universe, and even though he's not, a player anymore, we're still going to acknowledge him. So I really did appreciate that. One thing I am really curious about is that it looks like they went ahead and moved to a new place, at least as far, as location. And I want to know how long it's been, because it feels like pardon me, it does feel like it's been maybe a year, maybe longer, since they've seen everyone. So I'm curious if that's if there's maybe an internal riff with certain members, or maybe if Dom and Letty are just trying to be, super mom and super dad. So that's actually something I am already like, all right, let's see where that goes. The thing about this trailer that makes me so incredibly happy is the trailer, actually the movie, every movie from that Fast and Furious has from this point moving on really should just show a physics book and someone just either shooting it or burning it and then show the Universal logo, because the use of magnets in this trailer is insane. And I thought it was insane, like in the first shot where you see magnets, it's like, oh wow, all right, like just everything is going ahead and just, attaching and breaking through store windows. Oh no, it is way more insane than that. And that is something that I went, you know what? And here's the thing, people, let's call this what it is, because I do know people like this, so I'm going to call them out. If you're one of those people who goes, I don't like comic book films, but you love these movies, really? Because these are comic book movies at this point. Even though I haven't seen the first film in forever, the movies used to be about street racing. The cars are really now just a thing they kind of need to put in because they are calling them these Fast and Furious films. So yeah, it's dumb, but my God, is this fun dumb? This is the definition. These films have become really the definition of a popcorn flick. You could say the Marvel films are, but the Marvel films do touch on, some social issues and things like that. These films are just straight up, usually revenge driven because someone, person A screwed person B, and now, the whole crew has to suffer because of it. But you know what? Cool. If you know what you are and you're able to still keep me entertained, fuck yeah. I don't care. I will totally give the film this rope. But the amount of magnets in this movie is absurd in the best way. Cipher returns, played again by my future ex-wife Charlize Theron, and she is using these magnets to destroy cities, to go ahead and catch Jacob's car, who's played by John Cena, which I will get to in a moment. But again, it just looks like there are no fucks being given. Justin Lin, who is directing this film, he's directing the the next two, actually. So he's directed Fast 9, and he's directing Fast 10 and Fast 11, which he has even said that while he thinks of the films as part of this whole canon, he does consider them almost like, like really its own trilogy, which I think is a very interesting way to look at it. So, hell yeah, man. Like, you want to go ahead and keep doing these, why the hell not? But I love the fact that the magnet use is already this absurd. And this is just a trailer. Like, there's things they haven't even showed us yet with the magnets. So I'm horribly excited to see how they just continue to take a giant dump on every law of physics. John Cena being in this was something that I was pleasantly surprised to see in the first film, or in the first trailer. So the fact he's being brought in as Dom's brother, you know what? Cool. Hell yeah. Like, if that's what you want to do, I am all about it. John Cena, man, let's give the man credit where it's due. While the Marine is by no means a classic, I think he's actually good in the film. He's pretty good in 12 Rounds too. Again, dumb movie, but he's pretty good in it. He is flat out great in Trainwreck for the little bit he's in there. He's excellent in Bumblebee too, basically playing Guile from from Street Fighter. I think he's great in that. While Playing with Fire is an absolute piece of crap, and I will not pretend that it's not. He showed off his comedic chops in Blockers. I think Blockers is a lot of fun. I think it's an actually much sweeter film than to give him credit for. And then Ferdinand, hell, that's an Oscar-nominated film. I mean, yes, animated, but still, it's an Oscar-nominated film that he starred in and that did well at the box office. So while I don't think John Cena's Dave Bautista or Dwayne Johnson, I think he's a much better actor than people are giving him credit for. And this is the kind of shit that a lot of people really wanted to see him in. They wanted to see him in these more action-driven films. So here's the thing. I don't believe that Universal is dumb enough to kill off John Cena in this fucking movie. I think that would be a giant mistake. Here's the thing, though. They could... I don't know if they'll have the balls to do it in this movie. Actually, I think it's like maybe a 3% chance they would actually do this. But if they kill Dom, you have his brother right here, who John Cena is playing, in Jakob Toretto. He could slide right on into that spot and be the head of this crew. Like, there's a world where that happens. But the most likely thing is that they'll team up, take down my ex-wife, and he'll go ahead and join the crew. Which, you know what? Cool. John Cena and Vin Diesel working off each other would actually be something I would be weirdly intrigued to see. So I'm really excited, though, because we're going to get some John Cena versus Vin Diesel fight scenes. Now, admittedly, we have to suspend our disbelief that John Cena would actually lose to Vin Diesel in any sort of fight. But, all right, fair enough. The thing I do love about this, though, is that it does tie back to, so what I do vaguely remember, I believe, Dom and Jacob's brother got killed, but then Dom went to jail because he assaulted the guy who did it. So they could use that whole time in prison, you weren't there for me aspect to really fuel Jacob's anger, which I wouldn't be mad at. Cliche, yes, but would make a lot of sense as far as where they're trying to go ahead and take this. John Cena, Jacob, having his own cross necklace, I thought that was a very nice touch because it's very Toretto, and it does play up that whole family aspect, which, oh man, I wonder how many times they're going to say family in this fucking movie. Another thing I appreciated, Dom is back with the shotgun. I was like, okay, the old school pump action shotgun's back. Like, all right, you know what? Why the fuck not? It's a cool throwback, and shows that these writers and the directors are actually paying attention to some of this shit. Again, go figure. Jacob has his own private army, which Mia says. Jordana Brewster is back in the fold, which I'm really happy she's back. So why does Jacob have his own private army? Is it Cipher's army, or is it actually Jacob's army? Very curious to hear about that. And I do have to bring up the probably the biggest, I don't say the biggest, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'll say it's the biggest moment. At the 123 mark, and or at the 124 mark, and complete blunt honesty, I actually got chills watching this in the trailer. Seeing Han back, yes, we're getting justice for Han. Now, couple things. How is Han back? Because let's be clear, he did die in Tokyo Drift because what's his name? Shaw killed him. Not Deckard. Wait, Deckard Shaw? I think it's Deckard Shaw. The Shaw that Jason Statham played. He killed him in at the end of Tokyo Drift. You get the post credit. I can't remember if that's at the end of Furious 6 or whatever, but there is a scene where Han is killed. So how is Han back? And I'm going to make this comparison. It's in the same way that I'm going to give Marvel and DC just rope to make good films. I mean, Marvel's already making those, but if DC just wants to go like, hey, we're going to have a Batman, played by Robert Pattinson, and we're going to have, animated series stuff here, and just say multiverse, and I get quality. Fuck it. That's totally fine. I thought it was a mistake when they killed Han anyway. And Gal Gadot's character, she got killed. So, I mean, if death means nothing in these movies, which, I mean, then, you know what? Fuck it. Bring them back. Even if you have to go the hilarious Sherlock route and just kind of dance around how you're bringing them back, that's fine. I really don't care at this point. As if Han gets a chance to really shine in this, which from what I'm seeing in the trailer, it looks like there is very little reason to think that he won't get a prominent role in this and have multiple moments to show why he's a badass, then fuck it, so be it. Why the hell not? As I already mentioned that that Mia's back in action, I feel really bad, but Ramsey, I know, is like one of their hackers. I can't remember. I think she premiered in Furious 7. She might have premiered earlier. Again, if she did, haven't watched these in a while, cut me some slack. But the whole sequence of her getting out and attempting to drive a car is actually pretty funny. I went, you know what? All right, that's pretty cool. I also love that, and it is Deckard Shaw. I love that Helen Mirren is back as was it Magdalene Shaw? I'm so happy she's back because she clearly looks like she's having a blast in these movies, and honestly, good. I'm happy she's back, and she could be that potential connection between this film and maybe a Hobbs and Shaw 2. Maybe Cipher is working for that mysterious person that we heard at the end of Hobbs and Shaw. Maybe that's how they're going to connect everything. So I'm actually really curious to see how she's utilized. Dom's Black Charger is back too, and I have to say, I've always been a fan of the car. It just looks fucking beautiful. But this one, so it looks like this new magnet technology they're using has been integrated into the car. So it's basically just like a literal driving bomb, just send shit wherever the fuck it wants. Which, you know what? Fine, fuck it. Who the fuck cares at this point? I am giving the movie some rope here. Han's Mazda RX-7 isn't back, which I was like, well, that's kind of lame, because I really love that fucking car. But I do appreciate that he's got a new car, the Toyota Supra, I think, but it has the exact same paint scheme as his car in Tokyo Drift, which I went, you know what? That's still a cool homage to it. So I actually really like that. And then the last thing I'm going to bring up. So they've all but confirmed that they are taking this shit into space. Why they're going to space, who the fuck knows? But the final shot of the trailer is Roman and Tej donning makeshift astronaut suits in this rocket power car, and when they're being dropped from the plane that they're attached to, instead of they hit the gas and it looks like they're fucking flying. So really, so to go back to what I was bringing up in the original at the beginning of the trailer, was it the kid that inspired that? Because a car going into space is just, even trying to wrap my head around that. I mean, unless they're teaming up with the Fantastic Four and we don't fucking know it yet, the fact that they're making this is just, oh my god. I can't believe June is almost here so I can watch this fucking movie. Credit where it's due, and I have to shout this out real quick as I wrap up. The first Fast and Furious film came out in 2001. That was a $38 million budget for the film, for the first one. Made $207.3 million, and I believe that's just stateside. But that came out June 22nd, 2001, right? So Fast 9 obviously was supposed to come out last year, but because of COVID, that kind of derailed everything. This film's coming out on the 25th, so almost 20 years to the day of the first one. I found that really apropos. And again, while COVID has been a terrible, terrible thing. It's really cool that the film, this new film that's really gonna, I believe, gonna really welcome people back to the cinemas and really get butts in the seats. The fact that it's coming out almost 20 years to the day of the first one, which, let's be clear, did anyone fucking think we'd be on the ninth Fast and Furious film when you saw the first one back in 2001? I remember seeing this when I was going to Judkins Middle School in Bismarck Beach, California. And this was the first time I was hanging out with kids from school. And seeing that movie was a fucking experience. And I think I was in 7th grade. I can't remember if it was 7th or 8th grade. I think it was 7th. But I was really happy. And, it's a dumb car movie with some hot models and Paul Rudd. Paul Walker. Oh, if Paul Rudd was in these, that would be fantastic. But the fact that they've been able to endure after making a very bad sequel to the Fast and Furious and have turned these films into what they are, you got to give Universal credit for that. And we are going to get spinoffs. They've already announced that. So while the main canon is ending with the 11th film, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with these moving forward. I believe Dom will die by the time the credits roll on the 11th film. And, it could be used to go ahead and elevate some younger actor, So I'm really curious what they're going to do with this ninth film, but June cannot get here soon enough. Also, it is my birthday month, so hooray. But everyone, Fast 9, what are you excited about the most on it? Let me know in the comments. You can like us on Facebook or both our Facebook pages at The Real Pineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. You can also like our gaming page at Real Pineapple Games. I'm going to be streaming here in the next couple weeks here. I will keep all of you updated on that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher and iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and TuneUp at The Real Pineapple. And you can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. And you can follow Scott on Twitter at Nearman1st. And thank you again so much for listening, everyone. We are going to have reviews for this week. I'm going to have a review for all of most of them. I'll have reviews for the Best Picture nominees for the Oscars this year. And I will, on Friday, be posting my thoughts as far as who I think is going to win in each major category for Oscars. And after the Oscars, I will have my quick reactions as far as who won and if they deserve to win, or I thought someone got screwed, all that jazz. So I'll have those thoughts as well. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Please take care of each other. Wear a mask. Go get your COVID shot. The world is almost ready to open back up. So let's please hang in there, people. And thank you again for listening, and we will talk to you soon.